Morning. Back to hopefully what is the comfort zone with the landscapes. We've had 4 days or 3 days doing these still lifes. I've thoroughly enjoyed doing them. As you know, it's not my thing. I've only ever done 2 in the past, and that was 15 years ago in oil, which did turn out to be quite good, I have to say. They're not in my possession now. So this one is the old barn near Chidham, well, at Chidham, in the West Sussex, Chichester Harbour area. We bought some eggs. We buy, well, every time we go to this area, we buy eggs from a little kiosk from the farm. Ducks' eggs, chickens' eggs, lovely free range, organic. So here we have this corrugated roof of this lovely old barn. I'm just going to try to paint what I see, but I'll have to enhance the roof. I'll have to put some red in to complement all these lovely greens here. So, without further ado, we'll crack on. I'm painting this on an old, well, a demonstration that I did some months ago. It looked okay online, but they're not all sort of masterpiece quality, not by a long shot. All right, let's just move you up to here, to the bit of paper. I've primed it with some plaster of Paris and mixed in with some dilute PVA glue. And give it a good dry. And when you do, if you paint on paper, seal both sides. It helps to keep the paper flat, otherwise it will buckle because one side is shrinking and the other side is not. So my palette is white, of course. I've got the red on here for poppies and things. I'll try to enhance the hedgerows with alizarin crimson, light red, ultramarine, burnt sienna, black, bit of green, that's the viridian, and some mid yellow, and yellow ochre. I don't use raw sienna in the opaque media. Right, so get a brush and start to put in the landscape, I think, the trees. So I'm not going to draw on here, I'm just going to go straight in with some green. So I use a bit of the yellow, bit of the vermilion, bit of green. See, the viridian is very difficult colour to use on its own, but mixed with the yellow and a bit of red, you can get some lovely tones with it. So this is just that oak tree. Well, it doesn't go like that, does it? Let's get this on. It's not reflecting anything. But we've got some light as well in here. You can also mix a bit of blue in with this. I think I like this mid yellow better than the lemon yellow. So just a quick rough in to start with. So we've got this road coming down here, going around the corner. But we get some nice dark in there as well. So I do like blue and red in the shadow, just to complement the greens. Whatever you put on, you're going to change. So at this stage, don't worry too much about a finished painting. Just get the paper covered with paint. Because it dries very quickly, you can get on with it. I think I like this vermilion. I don't usually use it, but it seems to be coming into its own. So a bit of black in with that mix. I want it dark to counter change my lights. All that in there, and that nice and red with a bit of black. Right, okay, so and we've got some greens coming down there. So I'm painting a sort of dark greeny complement of what I said. Delete what I just said. I'm talking rubbish. not for the first time. Right, just get some grease. It's just to quickly get some paint on, and then we can sort out where we're going. That's the verge, where we put our wildflowers, and same on the other side. Bit of the ochre mixed with a bit of the we'll have a greyish road, grey blue road. Right, let's get in the nice, need some more black on the palette. So acrylic black. For those of you who haven't watched any of the still lifes, we went to the fantastic art in action show, open air show in Great Marquees near Oxford. I think Waterperry Park or Gardens or something like that. Alright, okay, so now somewhere in that we've got to put our barn. Okay, we'll put our path in, then we'll do a bit of sky. We'll just get that roughed in. So, bit of blue, bit of red, light red. Plenty of white in there. Move that. Nice light in there. The sun is coming here, so we can put some lovely light in the background, and we can accentuate the shadows. Nice and dark. Right, barn. I'll do a rough colour for the barn. I'll do the light red or burnt sienna, it doesn't really matter. A bit of the old black in there, so I'll move the tree over otherwise. Change the shape of the barn. So we've got various colours. That's the shape of. We're looking more or less at a slight angle to the barn. So this the side wall there. Right. Okay. Then we've got the dark under the roof here. And we've got some dark in there. Like the roof shape. Right, okay, I'll just fill that bit in there, then we'll go into the start of the sky. Okay, I have to clean the palette up. I know I haven't changed the membrane in this stable palette since I started on Monday. So it's got a bit of a mess, but it still hasn't broken up. Some of the paint's been on it all that time, like the yellow ochre. They're not cheap, but they do a fantastic job. But what happens over the days, the paint that's on there, especially the white, the water comes through the membrane, but the paint stays on the surface. It doesn't go the other way, which is quite miraculous. But it tends to over dilute the white, so you have to watch that. But these palettes, they come in various shapes and sizes. They only do a stay-wet palette, but it's very flimsy compared to this. And the waterproof paper, well, the paper, not greaseproof. The paper, you can make your own stay-wet palette out of greaseproof paper and a bit of sponge in a chocolate box or something. These are not over cheap, but I've had that for 20-25 years, and it's great. And I've got a smaller version of it too for travelling if I need to. Let's bring my screen back. Right, we just put in some green back there, some dark green, yellow, black and red. Might be a bit of iridium in there. Just want darks. And by painting your darks first, like that, it gives you something to paint over. That comes down there, that's going to get a big sky. Right, I reckon we've got enough on there. Let's put in some sky now. I'm just going to clean the palette with a bit of tissue and a bit of water. Oh, these are very tough, these membranes. You can buy them in UK, well, in USA I think, through Chromacolour, it's an American company. But look at them online, the Masterson, that's the large one. If you work in the studio and you don't intend going out too often, this is the one to buy. Go large rather than small. Right, okay. I'll use another brush here. Use that one. Right, so it was a lovely blue, dark blue sky, so a bit of white, bit of blue, and a little bit of red. Killing the canvas. Look at my shape of the tree. More of that. And that blue goes right to the horizon, but I've done a sort of a grey blue. But the idea is keep all your edges soft. You don't want any hard edges. That's my impressionist thing. But if you're a painter that paints very tightly, then you do it your way. Right, we'll add a bit of cloud to that. Little white puffy sort of warm clouds, so a bit of white, a bit of red, a bit of yellow ochre. Remember, clouds are never white, but they're lighter than that. Remember, clouds go behind trees. Right, go back to that grey a bit, or a bit more blue. Nice and soft to get all the colours merging. A darker overhead. Just going over just to lose some of that. It's a bit bigger than I intended, because then I'm using a big brush. Right, we'll go back to that. That's roughed in now. Now we'll start to model some of those trees, and I'll use a big brush. It's 1 inch flat, cheap Chinese bristle. Buy them when you see them, provided they've got enough hairs in them. Some they're getting a bit sparse these days, probably to keep the price down, but when they're cheap enough. Right, let's measure that. That's over 1.5 inches. 1 5/8, that one, by 1 inch. An absolute fabulous brush. So we'll put some light greens in there now. Bit of white in there. Plenty of that yellow. Bit of red. Okay, so let's just bit of stipple. Bit of ochre in there too, I think. Lovely, the stipple, isn't there? Easy to do with this sort of brush. You can use varnish brushes, all sorts. Anything that gives you the mark that you want. Right. And we've got lots of dark in there, so we keep some of that dark. Right, we can put some highlights in there. See, that's why I painted it dark to begin with. So we've got that nice effect there. So let's get in with our, back to our dark greens now. Red, green, bit of yellow. If you make it darker, a bit of black. Don't be frightened of using black. It's a great colour, but don't use it neat. Just use it as a mix. But of course you can do it whatever way you feel comfortable. Okay, let's get into nice oak leaves. Then when that's dry a bit, I can put some branches in and some lights back of the sky. This is where we want nice dark in that shadow. If you see any nasty shapes developing like there, just work them out. Okay, that's good coming across there. I've come down a bit low there, but never mind. Right, a bit of red in there, I think. Right, let's do some of the other side now. I don't always stipple, as you know. You can paint them on with strokes. The thing is, whatever makes a mark. is pleasing. Right, that's all very little light coming out of there, but we'll put it all in. But right, let's get the nice light greens in now. Plenty of light back in there, just for that, catching a bit of light coming down here. But that's all in shadow there. So real exercise in sorting out your greens. Now we've got some nice light in there, coming down from the edge of the grass, coming down. I'm a great believer in using the largest brush you can. So these are just this is the sun shining through to the verge, and then right. Okay, how are we doing on the screen? Yeah, it's looking right. Now we're putting some dark greens. What I've done, I'll show you. I'm using well, I'll show you. A picture paints 1,000 words. Right, I'm using a box easel, and there it is. That's the tray, or yes, that's the tray. That pushes in. But that's all my watercolour stuff, so I'm not using those at the moment. I've got this bit of a old wardrobe I've had for about 30 years, well varnished, linseed oil. I use it as a palette when I'm doing oils, and it makes a lovely table. It's about 3'6", it's over a metre, 3'6", 4 foot long, and I can put all my tools on it, and it's great. Right, okay, back to the mid greens. I do tend to mix red with my greens. So we'll just put these in. There'll be some light on there because that's where the sun's coming from. Look at my shapes. And this is quite a bit of shadow in here. Put a bit of white in there. It's sort of a grey green here. Oops. Something coming down here. If it's there, put it in. Don't try and work out what it is. If it's, when you see it, if it's a light, put it in light. If it's dark, put it in light. If it's got a shape, put the shape in. Don't name things. Because then you start drawing from memory, and because we know what happens then. We've all got 40 memories. I don't like that, so I'll paint that out. I'll go back to that, let that dry. Just put my lights back on here. My brush a bit of a clean. back with the greens now, the sort of grasses. Look, using that brush I can just a bit of texture in these areas here. Probably a bit of ochre would be better. I will. Okay, now some lights on the top here. And we've got some light the other side of the barn. More lighter than that. Now we go back to the dark. Okay. And I've got just one bit of dark green there. Okay. Well, let's do a bit of work on the barn now. I'll use my 1/2 inch flat. So we'll bit of black, bit of sienna, or a bit of red really. I'm dragging the brush the way the paint, the way the corrugations are going. Oh, let's just put. All soft. I'm reminding myself. So we'll put a bit of rust, a bit of grey, blue, red, light red. Plenty of white in that. Oh, I've got some texture paste on there from yesterday. So that's what I was. Right. Now we need to get that roof shape. It comes out here. And we've got this dark like this wall here comes down there. Okay, that's that. I want some nice light colour on there. So I'm enhancing the roof here with the red, well, the burnt sienna anyway, just to show some of this rusting. I'm just dragging over. You can see the prime where I primed it with the gesso. It's going sort of slabby, but that's okay. Now on here we can put in some detail just to show that sort of stuff. I can only see little bits of that. There might be just little bits on the screen, the scratches in the that end was lighter for some reason. Right, let's get in a bit of that sienna, burnt sienna, rust. Right, I'm going to let that go. There's nothing else on there. I've taken some minor liberties with it. I'm just going to get this roof lined up here. Right, there we are. So that's the barn. Now we'll have to start doing a bit of slipping over some of this. Do the some bits of trunk and branches, a few. Then we'll start to, well, do the hedge, the verge. So that's a sort of a greeny, ochre colour, light, but on the green side. It's a nice light green, and so I'll just enhance that light where the sun is showing through. Okay, just put a bit of dark green back. Yeah, I like this yellow. This yellow I got at the art fair. Don't like that heavy. Right, these bits of hedge, well, not hedgerow, it's just a bank, come out further than I've shown them, so I'm going to do something about that. Just a little bit of texture in here, just to show some undulations in the ground. Let's rough it up a bit. Right, now I'm going to go back to my stipple brush. Where is it? Oh, I forgot to clean it. Always make sure you keep your brushes clean, because in this warm atmosphere at the moment we're getting, the paint dries so quickly you'd lose your brush. So let's some more of this lovely yellow, which I bought 2 tubes of this instead of the lemon yellow. It's probably cadmium yellow medium, but I like it. So just moderate that a little bit. Got these lights in here, bit of white. I can mix a bit of that texture paste in there as well. Texture paste is something that it's difficult to make yourself. I've got some Liquitex here, modelling paste. It's lovely stuff to use. It gives you quickly an impasto if you mix it with your paints. And I've got quite a bit of it on it that I use for my flowers I did yesterday. Well, nice light on this here. A warm light there, really. Just like tops of ferns, and more detail here than anywhere else. I'll wait to put this in a mount. Pick out the lights where you see them, because this is essentially a very bright day, but we've got a nice shadow coming from the barn. And okay, that's all we're going to do for there. Right, let's, with a small round, bit of black, bit of red, or a bit of sienna, plenty of water. We'll put in some of the branches where the light's going to show. Probably a little bit obvious, but I'm going to put some light back in there. Got a bit of a. Oops! I'm listening to the radio as well as talking to you. Not that you're boring, far from it, but I like the LBC when I'm doing this. I'm going to put the light back in the tree, because I can see a nice chunk coming up here, but at the moment it's a little bit lost. So I'll get my brush and clean and get in with my light sky. So let's the screen goes out after so long, so I have to bring it back. So let's. Got to look for these. Probably a bit low, that one, I don't know that. Right, now with my brush I can go back over that with my fingers, put those lights back. It just gives a little bit of interest there. Well, let's put the lights back on the other side now. And I need to clean my palette a little bit. And put some more white out. I won't put too much out because it will dilute too much overnight. I'm going to put the bluey bit back behind some of that. We do that bit there. Right, that'll do for that. Now with a small brush, when I drop the brush, as often as not it ends up in paint. But that one's dried, so I sort of lost that one. Right, I want to put in some very, very light, but it's a sort of a grey. So that's the light coming outside that barn, but I want to. The road is quite light, asphalt. So let's just. I'll just put that in and then I can scumble over it, like put some real marks. I'll just put some shadow, cast shadow on the road. Quite dark, these ones. Go back with that a bit. You mustn't forget your shadows. Here. That's just a little bit heavy there, so I'll just soften that a little bit. Right, okay. Now that light, I'm going to have to put that back in again. And I'll enhance, put that shadow back here. So if you can't see me do this. Right, got a road brush. So we've got a bit of yellow ochre. Sort of more sort of bit of sand on the road. Just blocking them a bit better. More blue than I've got here. So I'm trying to lose and find that centre. Just in the old dark. Ah! Right, now we've got some nice ochre light coming down the verge here. Blur, blur, blur. Now back to some light green. I know this is taking a long time now, but it can be over the hour, isn't it? It can take ages to upload. Okay, so that's the verge on that side. I need to put one, the other, just that light coming down here. It's the edge of the road. Right, that is about all I can do on that, I think. Now we're going to do the wild flowers. Which don't exist in this particular picture that I can see, but we're in the country, so let's start off with a bit of blue and a bit of white. Just to try to overdo it, which is darn impossible. We'll put in some white. we're in the lap of the gods. We won't do silly things like stems. Now, you know what I'm saving to last? A bit of yellow, a bit of white yellow. I'm not going to take this too far back because this is the foreground. I don't want the foreground in the background. Put some of that on there. I'm going to put the little bits of trunks back, but here we clean the brush and here we go. Go for it, Dave. Oh. Can't go wrong with a good poppy, can you? Right, now I'm just going to do a little bit of rigger work. Rigger with the rigger. Dark. Plenty of water. Needs to be a bit thicker than that. Like that to there. We'll do the same on the other side, because these are silhouetted. Put a signature on it. And we'll put it in a mount with your masking tape. We've got a garden party this afternoon for one of the women's groups in our local Baptist church. So I've got to be the waiter. It certainly won't be the dumb waiter there. Right, well, somebody did ask me if I put a building in one of my landscapes, so here we are. There we are. So the old barn, Chidham, painted by yours truly. I think I can just soften that there a little bit. That's just a little bit too solid. That'd be better. Right, okay. There we are, so there's my barn, the old barn. That is not the side, the front edge, it's just where the way the roof is. So maybe I should just make that a bit more obvious there. That's a bit better. So it's one of those roofs, it sort of comes out at the end and then splays either side of the wall here. But it's not too obvious, is it? But anyway, I'm going to let that go. I can't do any more to it. I hope you enjoyed that. Thanks for watching. I've got to go and get that into some decent clothes now. and start making tea, well, later on. Tea and cucumber sandwiches on the lawn. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.